Hey everyone, my name is Grace, and today we're going to be talking about 5 virtual icebreakers that you can implement at your next virtual chapter meeting or activity. You might be wondering, what is an icebreaker? And basically, it is a short, small, fun, energetic activity that you can use to warm up your members to what you're going to be teaching for the day. It helps members work as teams, engage, get to know each other, and ultimately buy into the theme you're trying to explain when conducting these meetings. Our first game is called Stackit. This is such a chaotic and fun game because it allows students to quickly put their brains to use and stack as many things as they can. So you'll tell students that they have 1 minute and 30 seconds to stack the highest tower that they can in front of their computer with anything around the room. I have seen a wide variety of things stacked. Oftentimes they'll find books, pillows, even water bottles, tons of random stuff. The ultimate goal is to stack the highest tower. Now, if they do that pretty quickly, you can also add some other renditions of this game. Maybe you tell them to retry and stack it on their hand. Or, this is my personal favorite, try to stack it or balance it all on your head. It sometimes becomes a complete disaster, but the point of this activity is not to have the tallest tower, but to have fun while doing it. The next virtual icebreaker is Count Up. This game is super simple and just requires students to unmute and mute themselves again. Basically, what will happen is students have the opportunity to count from 1 to 20 individually, but the only rule is they can't talk over each other. So, for example, if somebody says 1, somebody unmutes themselves and says 2, and 2 people at the same time say 3, you'd have to restart from the beginning. So students will try to count up 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 20 without trying to talk over themselves. This might keep people a while, but that's all right. It's supposed to be a fun warm-up game, and that way they can kind of create a pattern or strategy to how are they going to get to that number 20. The third activity, and this is another one of my favorites, it's called Life Story. So you'll tell students they have 10 seconds to grab a random item, and I like to count down from 10. It kind of puts that sense of urgency in their mind. So they have 10 seconds to grab a random item. Here I grabbed a pen, and they'll basically explain out to the group its life story. So they can create something unique, or they can basically tell where they got it from. So if you have this pen, for instance, where did you get it? How old is it? Where did it come from? Did it randomly appear? Does it have a symbol on it or a logo? All good things. Another cool way to conduct this activity is having students share out in breakout rooms. So if you have a larger activity, maybe it's a chapter meeting, maybe it's just virtual engagement all together, putting them in small breakout rooms not only allows them to share out those stories, but leads to progressive conversations. The fourth activity is charades. I love this game. So this works a little better if you are able to private message students, but if not, you can always send it through an email or whatever way you would like to conduct that. But basically, if you're using Zoom, you will go to the Everyone drop-down bar and select the person that you'll be, select the student that has volunteered themselves to act out. And you don't have to do animals. It could be anything. It could be cars, types of foods, anything you can think of that might warm them up for your ultimate meeting. And so what you'll do is basically private message those students, that student, and have them act out those lists of animals or objects. One thing to remember is that the student will remain muted while acting it out, and while other students are guessing, they'll be putting in the chat. If you're the one facilitating the meeting, it's kind of your job to monitor that, and once you see somebody in the chat get the correct animal or object, you'll shout it out, maybe give them snaps, a round of applause, whatever you can do to recognize that they have guessed the right one. And The last virtual icebreaker is the rock, paper, scissors tournament. Maybe you've played this in person. If you haven't, it's super chaotic, super fun, and it's awesome that we're able to conduct that virtually. How it works is it actually works best with breakout rooms, but it doesn't have to go like that. You'll separate students maybe into pairs of 2 or 4, and they'll talk amongst themselves and kind of gain a partner. Now, one at a time, what they'll do is with that partner, they will play rock, paper, scissors. And as they lose or win, when they lose, they will turn their cameras off. So by the end, once everybody has played or kind of beaten each other, there'll be one person standing in each breakout room. Then they'll come back to the main breakout room and ultimately battle it off for the ultimate rock, paper, scissors tournament winner. So those are 5 super simple, easy, resourceless virtual icebreakers that you can use at your next meeting or maybe committee gathering. I really hope these worked, and I can't wait to see how they work for you all. Remember that these are not the only 5 ones that you can use. There's tons of ideas out there, and there's a lot of in-person icebreakers that can go virtual with just a little bit of thought. I hope these turn out great for you all, and have a wonderful day.